Today we have a special guest. His name is Gavino Vargas, and he was one of my students long time ago in 7th and 8th grade. He is now 19 and he's going into his second year at Cal Poly Pomona. So he was just like you. He was here, he was in those chairs, he had me as a teacher, he came to La Paz, he lives from around here, he grew up in Salinas, he might have gone to your same elementary school. So I'm hoping that you can really see yourself in him, seeing yourself in the future. Don't think that he was a perfect student, please. He wasn't. He gave me a lot of trouble. Right? So he was a lot like some of you, where I had to check in on him. He would annoy me a lot, ask me lots of inappropriate questions during class. He wouldn't always do his homework every day, and I would have to check on him. Sometimes he got bad grades, and sometimes he got really good grades, depended on if he was interested. In 8th grade, everybody does a research project on a university. He also did this, and he studied Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. So back in 8th grade, he already knew he wanted to go to a Cal Poly. It's always interested him. Back then, he liked computers, still likes computers. Okay, so he was able to determine back in 8th grade that he wanted to go to a Cal Poly. He knew that that was the right fit. Now there are two Cal Polys that you might have heard of. One is in San Luis Obispo, and the one where Gavino goes is in Pomona. So he is going to mention a little bit about that and why he chose Pomona rather than San Luis Obispo. I want you to gather a lot of information both about him as a person, but also about the school. He's going to start with some introduction information about himself, where he came from, obstacles, motivations. It's not on your paper or on your notes, but it's important information to understand him as a person. And then after that, he's going to open it up for questions and answers. Now it's very important that you're paying attention, because let's say Greg here asks number 8. That means that people back there and over there and back there have to be paying attention and realizing, oh, that's question 8. I need to write down the information, or I need to type the information. Greg here is not going to say, number 8, everyone. No, he's not going to do that. Okay? So you have to pay attention. Now likewise, if Aaron here asks a question, then we need to make sure that the people in the back hear. So you need to be loud enough to be heard. And if Gavino can't hear you, he's going to make you keep repeating and repeating and repeating until everyone can hear. Okay? He does a good job at making sure that he emphasizes what the question is about so that you can find it in your notes. Okay? What I noticed in first period is some people got very interested in what Gavino was saying, and so they're like, and not taking any notes. So you got to kind of slap yourself, get back to class, and make sure that you're keeping your notes. So if you have to like nudge your person next to you like, hey, take notes. Okay? So let's go ahead and welcome Gavino.
Alright, good morning you guys. My name is Gavino Vargas. I'm starting my second year tomorrow at Cal Poly Pomona. I'm from Salinas, California. Like Ms. Smith mentioned, I was her avid student a couple of years ago, actually a lot of years ago. And then after that I went to Alvarez. I was a part of the football team, and I did track and field. I threw shot put and discus. I was a part of the AVID program, went through project also. I did many honors and AP courses while I was there too. Let's see, obstacles that I had to overcome. In the 6th grade, I believe, my parents separated, so that was a very big part of my life. And then in 7th grade, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and then so I had to see all that. And then when I was in high school, there were recession happened, 2008 happened, and so my mom was out of work for like 2 years. She would go in and out of work. She'd go into work for a week, and then she'd be off for a month, 3 months, and then go back for another 2-3 weeks. It was tough times. I had to live through that also. And then I graduated from high school. I am the youngest of 4. I am the second to graduate from high school, and I'm the first to go to college. And a thing that I'm going through right now, even like when I first came in to college, was that I had no one to share my experiences with. None of my siblings had ever gone to college. I could tell them, oh, how was it like when you moved in? I couldn't ask them that because my siblings never went to college. So everything that I was exposed to was it was of course firsthand, and it was very new to me. Everything was new to me. Yeah. So I am a computer science major at Cal Poly Pomona. I plan to change my major to computer engineering. Now you're asking yourself, what's the difference? Well, computer science is just typing code on a computer screen forever, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather work with the hardware, design it, everything that has to go with the insides of a computer. That's what I want to do. It's a lot more money actually too. My year at Cal Poly Pomona has been fun, a lot of fun, very stressful times, especially coming straight out of high school and going into a calendar system that's called the quarter system, where basically you have 10 weeks and then a week of finals. So what you do in a year, I do in 10 weeks, and then just a test, and that's it. And then I do it again, and then I do it again. So that's what I do. And so you could imagine I was like pulling my hair out by week 4. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so much. I've never had to do this much work in my life. But I did it anyway, and I did pretty good. Of course, I didn't do my best, but I mean, I did my best when I could, and there was times where I was just like, oh my gosh, I just can't. But again, I always pulled through it anyways. Cal Poly Pomona is in Los Angeles County. It's east of downtown LA. So I mean, of course it's east of downtown LA, but it's 25 minutes east of downtown LA. It's just 15 minutes north of Disneyland. It's a lot of fun. You can do so much down in Southern California. Everything is very close together, so there's fun everywhere. Cal Poly Pomona was the sister school of San Luis Obispo for a long time, until in the 1970s when they split apart and they became their own university. And a lot of the things as far as the polytechnic approach to teaching goes, it's alive at Cal Poly Pomona also. Everything is very small class sizes, and very you have a very close relationship with your professor and the student. Like, I would always hang out in my professor's office hours. Whenever I had a question, I would always go, and they would always help me out. It always helps when the professor gets to put a name, a face to a name, you know, your name to your face. Yeah, there you go. And so that always helps. If you always are motivated and you show your professor that you're actually engaged in the material, and that you go to his office hours, his or her office hours, that could be the difference between a B or a B minus or a B plus, you know. That was always really important, I guess, to know. You guys have any questions? Yes?
How long does it take to travel from Philippines to the university?
Well, if you Google map it, it says 6.5 hours. But I've been to Cal Poly Pomona in 4.5 hours. Yeah. So that's how long it really takes me. Yes?
What is the weather like?
What is the weather like? Wow. It's very different from here in Salinas. When I went to Pomona, I was like, I want to be back in Salinas just because of the weather. Because it's not like it is here. Over there, like the other day I just checked and it was like 102. And then you add in humidity to that. So it's really hot. It can be really hot, and then it can be really cold, and you're basically wearing t-shirts and jeans all the time because it's just it could be that hot. Yes.
What is the environment of the university?
Beg your pardon?
What is the environment of the university?
What is the environment of the university? Oh gosh. It's a big enough university where not everyone can know each other, but it's also small enough where you feel that that like a liberal arts university where everything is just so close by to each other. You can walk from one part of the campus to the other in less than 10 minutes or so. It's not like those big research universities like UC's where everything is just here and then you have to go on your bike and go like across town, you know, everything is just there. And as far as academics go competitively, it's rigorous. It's rigorous. Everyone is just like, I'm gonna beat you. Yeah. Yeah.
What are some attractions on campus?
Some attractions on campus. Well, when you get off the freeway and you get off of Kellogg Drive, it's like an elbow, I guess, and you see the CLA building. It's a building that the university is known for. The CLA stands for Classroom, Laboratory, and Administration Building. It's this really tall, pointy building, really iconic. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Gattaca. Well, you'll probably see it on there. There's a lot of commercials filmed near that building. And then you see the university library with these big windows and this like red cubic architecture to it. And then right next to that is the university, the old horse stables that Kellogg used to use back when it was just this horse ranch. And then to the other, in front of the old horse stables, I guess behind the old horse stable is just the BSC, which is called the Bronco Student Center. And there's just food and there's hangout spots there and there's free Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yes?
What is the university's mascot?
The university's mascot is it's the Bronco. And you know, the other day I was trying to think of his name again. Oh, it's Billy. Billy the Bronco. There we go. Yeah. Billy the Bronco. Question?
What are some school traditions?
Beg your pardon?
What are some school traditions?
Some school traditions. You know, there really isn't a lot. Like I mentioned, the university is just it's fairly new. It became its own university in the 70s. But as far as the most the longest tradition we've had at the university, that I believe is probably the Rose Float program that they have in conjunction to in conjunction with Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So San Luis Obispo comes to Pomona and they go to the Rose Float lab and they design, collaborate, and they build this New Year's float for the parade that's out in Pasadena.
How much do books usually cost?
My most expensive book that I had to buy was my calculus book. My calculus book was around $250 or $300, I believe, and it's about this thick, and it's for 6 classes, so it was worth it. My cheapest book that I had to buy was it's a narrative. It was not a narrative. Well, yeah, it was. Yeah. No. Yeah. Gosh, It's basically Diaries of a Slave Girl. It's basically, I guess, an autobiography of this slave woman, and it was just 99 cents. I bought it online. Yeah.
What are the school colors?
What are the school colors? It's green and gold. Yes?
What is the most popular major?
The most popular major. There really isn't a popular major that everyone just joins. It's really the most popular programs on campus are definitely engineering, the sciences, engineering, all engineering, mechanical, industrial, computer, electrical, manufacturing, so on and so forth. As far as the sciences go, physics, biology, chemistry, psychology is also what's it called, a popular program. Business administration, that's also very big. Marketing, that's also big. Animal science, animal health science, very hands-on majors. Yes? How much is tuition? Tuition at Cal Poly Pomona, I believe right now is just under $5,000. But there's more fees to that. There's university fees, and then there's obviously your room and board. So it comes out all in total with room and board and tuition. It comes out to just under $20,000. Yes.
When was the university founded?
When was the university founded? The university was founded in 1938. Yes.
What's the school's motto?
Beg your pardon?
What's the school's motto?
Can you speak louder, please?
What's the school's motto?
What's the school's motto? Instrumentum disciplinae, which basically means learn by doing.
How do you spell that?
It's Latin.
Learn by doing.
Yeah, learn by doing, yeah.
Guys, could you do me a favor and not just sound like you're reading questions off the list, but like add some civility language with it? Like, Gavino, could you please tell us what the school motto is? Kind of, add those things that we're learning in Socratic Seminar.
What are some interesting rankings?
Interesting rankings and recognitions. I believe we're ranked, gosh, what was it? I think 17 in the West. I think it's a three-way tie with Cal State Fullerton and Chico, I believe. Or is it 7? I'm not entirely sure. Yes.
How many libraries are on campus?
There's only one university library on campus. Yes.
What is the school's full name?
The school's full name, California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Huh?
California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. Yes?
What is the school's history?
Beg your pardon?
What is the school's history?
What is the school's history? Well, Cal Poly Pomona used to be a sister, not a sister, well, yeah, it is a sister campus, but it used to be a satellite campus of Cal Poly Pomona, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And it used to just be the College of Agriculture, was just at Cal Poly Pomona, and then over time it was granted university title in the 70s. And it became its own thing. It is separated away from San Luis Obispo.
What
Yes.
sports are popular on campus?
What sports are popular on campus? Well, since we don't have a football team, what we do have is basketball. We're really big on basketball and soccer. Oh, and baseball too, yeah. Yes.
What are some special restaurants or cafes on campus?
Okay, at the university marketplace, which is at the university quad, you will find Panda Express, Carl's Jr., Subway, and Taco Bell, and also Pony Pack, and Pony Pack is basically a convenience store there. And then you go to the BSC, and then you'll find Round Table Pizza, and then you find Pete's Coffee and Tea, and then you'll find 2 Subways next to each other, and then you'll see a sushi place, and what else? There's a what's it called? An arcade also at the BSC, and then at the library you will find Starbucks. Yes?
How do students choose their own classes?
Online. You go online, you go to Bronco Direct, you sign in, and you search for your classes that you need, and when you have your registration appointment, at the beginning of the first week or so, first 2 weeks I believe, you're capped at 12 units, or no, 9 units, and then after that, you sign up for as many classes as you need, as long as you do not exceed 20 units. After 20 units, you need to go to the registrar's office, pick up a slip to be granted permission to take more than 20 units.
What is like the schedule of the university school
It could vary by from student to student. Personally, I'm not a morning person, so I avoid morning classes as much as possible. I just know I'm not going to wake up for an 8 a.m. lab. Believe me, fall quarter, I graduated from high school, went straight to university. I said, hey, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. for this 8 a.m. class. No way, man. I was always late all the time for that class. And it's up in Building 4, and Building 4 is up the hill. So I lived in the dorms, and I had to walk all the way up the hill just to go to class every Wednesday morning. And never again. Never again. Yes?
What is the students' living arrangement? Roommates, dorms, apartments, or off campus?
Okay, at Cal Poly Pomona, there are 3 types of living accommodations. There are the residential halls, and then there are the residential suites, and there are also the village, the university village. The residence halls are where I used to live at, basically the dorms, and I lived in a triple. And a triple was it was me and 2 other guys in a room that's about a quarter of this room. Yeah, that's how. I guess not compact, very tight. And then the suites are basically university apartments that are inside of campus. And that's where I'll be living at this next year. I'll be sharing an apartment with 3 other guys. We'll all have our own shared livings. Not our own shared. We're gonna share the living room, but we'll all have our own bedrooms. Yes.
Does the school have both undergraduate and graduate degrees available?
Yes, we do. We offer Bachelor's of Arts, Bachelor's of Science, Master's of Science, Master's of Arts. But since we are a CSU, I believe we are not granted permission to grant doctorate degrees.
What do students usually do when they aren't in class?
When students aren't in class, what we do, you will see students hang out a lot at the university quad. They will take naps there, take naps at the Japanese tea garden, at the Rose Garden. Where else? The Bronco Commons is like empty all the time. You can take a nap there too. Go to the BSC. You can go to the 2nd floor of the library. It's very social there. At the university quad, there are these things we call the pancakes, which is basically like a stage, and people hanging out there all the time. Partners parties, obviously, all the time. Yeah. Yes?
What are your classes like?
What are my classes like?
Yes.
The biggest class at Cal Poly Pomona, and I also had the pleasure of being in that class, was just my intro to life science. Not my intro to life science, intro to biology, which is basically my life science class. And it was just 100 students. It was just in a lecture room, I guess, of 100 students. But most classes at Cal Poly Pomona are just under 30 students.
What's the library hours at Cal?
Cal Poly Pomona, the hours, they are, I believe, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Throughout the year, and then during finals week they extend the hours, so it goes from like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. during finals. And then there's the 24-hour lab where you just swipe your Bronco ID and you go in and use the computer or do whatever you please. It's open 24/7. Yes? The library, usually in the library, the BSC, anywhere where it's quiet, like the quad, the Rose Garden, the University Park, anywhere. Yes?
What type of homework do students get?
What type of homework do students get? You get it. Typically, your homework is a lot of reading, a lot of reading, a lot of reading, a lot of reading. Bookwork, like your math classes, you know how you're assigned problems, same thing. Essays, a lot of essays. Projects, group projects. Yeah.
How many hours per week do you study?
The rule of thumb is for every unit that you take, you have to study 2 hours. So if you take 12 units, you're expected to study 24 hours a week. Any questions? Yes?
What happens if they don't, to students who don't get good grades?
What happens to students if they don't get good grades? You get placed on academic probation. What that is that if your GPA falls below a 2.0, you get automatically placed in academic probation. You're in danger of losing your financial aid, and you're also jeopardizing your GPA also. Once it slips really low, it's really hard to get it back up. Yes.
About how many hours per week do students study?
Yeah. Any more questions? Yes.
Could you guys go whenever to go visit like family and stuff?
Do I make an effort to visit family?
No, or like, could you guys like leave on the weekends to go?
Yeah, definitely. It's like at Cal Poly Pomona, it's probably there's a lot of commuters. What that means is that a lot of people don't live in the university. A lot of people live around the university, so they commute to the university. So on Fridays, campus is dead. Like, it's dead. Like, there's no one there. Like, when I'd walk out from class on Fridays, I really wouldn't see anyone. Everything's really closed. Yes.
What are some activities, clubs, who can get involved?
You can join many clubs on campus. There's a lot of campus organizations. You could join the Rose Float, like I said. I did not join any club, but I was a part of a fraternity for a while. I was a pledge, and my pledgeship was terminated. But it was a lot of fun to pursue that again. Yes?
Is it the fraternity, the people that step?
What?
Never mind.
Yes. Questions? Yes.
How do students get around campus?
How do students get around campus? Since the campus is very hilly, it's like uphill and downhill, you'll find yourself walking from class to class a lot of the time. And if you need to get someplace, you could also take the Bronco Express. Bronco Express is just this trolley, I guess. It goes around campus.
Do
Yes?
people take their cars to school?
Yes. Yes, that's like I mentioned earlier, there's commuters. So there's a lot of people that live around the university, so they commute to school with
But
their
what
cars.
if they live in the
And if they
university?
live on campus, yes, also. Like, I'll be taking my car down to Pomona tomorrow, and I'll be having my car there. Yeah.
What is the hardest part of being a university student?
Hardest part of being a university student is definitely keeping track of everything, staying on top of everything. I have 10 weeks of lecture time, so if I'm not on top of everything, everything's just gonna come crashing down on me really, really fast. By week 4, if I haven't done anything, I'll be pulling my hair out. Yeah, it's that stressful. Yes?
What is the best part of being a university?
Definitely having my own freedom, being my own person. I can come and go as I please. My mom isn't there to breathe down my neck and tell me, hey, you have to be home at this hour. No, I'm my own person. I'm an adult. I can do come and go as I please. Yes.
For a middle school student like me, how would you persuade me to go to Cal Poly instead of another college?
Well, I definitely tell you that you should come to Cal Poly Pomona because it's far away from home. It's definitely something that you need to get out of here. You need to strive to go not as far as possible, but definitely someplace where it's great, that you're gonna have a lot of fun. And at Cal Poly Pomona, you'll definitely have a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm just 15 minutes away from Disneyland. I'm 25 minutes away from downtown LA. Like, how much more fun could I not have, you know? Yes. Yes.
Do you guys take field trips there? Like,
What do you mean?
or like, in some classes, do you guys go like places?
Well, you know, I don't know. I mean, there might be some classes that are more hands-on. Actually, there's service learning courses where you go and they're not really in your typical lecture setting. You actually go and you are hands-on and you do the class as if it were a real-life situation. Yes?
Why do students choose this university and not other schools?
Why do they choose this one? For the many people that I've spoken to that live in Southern California, they find that it's one of the more affordable and the better option. Yes.
What advice do you give us middle school students?
What advice do I give you, middle school students? Definitely pursue your dreams. Don't tell yourself that if I say you want to go to UCLA, go to UCLA. Don't tell yourself that I'm not going to have the money to go there. You can go wherever you want. Believe me, you can go wherever you want. You just have to work really hard, and the hard work will pay off, definitely.
Did you apply to go to any other university?
Yes, I did. I applied to the UCs. I also applied to San Jose State, Sacramento State, CSUMB, Cal Poly Pomona. And I wanted to go to Cal Poly a lot. That was my dream school, I know. It might seem kind of silly because it's a CSU, but hey, it's one of the better CSUs and I loved it. But unfortunately I was denied there, but I was accepted at Cal Poly Pomona, so I said, hey, it might not be Cal Poly, but I said, it's far from home, so let's give it a try. And after being there for a year, I really ended up liking it. Yes.
Did you have a time when you wanted to give up?
There was never really times where I wanted to give up. There was just more times of where I said, wow, this is really hard. Let's keep on going. Let's take the challenge head on. Yeah.
Say like you wanna be like, what you are, what you're gonna major in, but you don't know what classes you should apply for. Do they help you?
Do they help me choose my courses? Is that what you're asking? Every department, every college, every program, they online they have this spreadsheet of courses you're expected to take. Like as a computer engineering major, you're expected to graduate with 96 units or 98 units, I believe. And you're expected to complete all those units along, which includes your general education and then your major courses. And behind that spreadsheet, they have a flow chart to give you a really good idea of what classes you should be taking, so you can graduate on time.
How many days out of the week would you say you went and asked your professor questions?
I went whenever my professor had their office hours available. So if my professor had his office hours Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I would be there. I'd make sure to be there because you never know when I'm going to need help, when I'm going to have a question, and just being there and hanging out and asking questions, showing that you care, really makes a difference.
What's the average class size?
The average class size at Cal Poly Pomona, I think it's 1 to 28. So it's one professor to 20 students on average. Student faculty ratio. Yes?
What do you do when you're not in school?
What do I do when I'm not in school? Saturdays and Sundays, what would I do when I wasn't in school? I would just wake up really late and I would just forget that I'm in school and just watch TV or and listen to music. Yes.
Has there been times where like you haven't completed all your homework assignments?
There wasn't a time where I never completed all my homework assignments. No, I always had to do all my assignments. Always, you have to do it. Otherwise, it's like you're paying for your own education. You know, you have to. Either if you don't do it, you're just wasting your time and your money. So no one wins. You know.
What is there more of men or women in Cal Poly?
At Cal Poly Pomona, because it's such a popular university for engineering, you'll find that there is more men than there is women.
Have you ever gotten lost in a
Beg your pardon?
Have you ever gotten lost in a
Have I ever gotten lost around campus? No. I've probably gotten lost inside of a building trying to find a bathroom. You know, that's probably as lost as I've ever been. Yes?
Do you miss your parents?
Do I miss my parents? Yes and no. You know, I always called my mom, either I always called my mom or my mom always called me. Yeah, for the first quarter that I was there, my mom would always make sure to call and check up on me. And then after that, it was just once every other day or once a week or something like that. Yes.
Has there been a time where your mom has called you during class?
Never.
do students pay for food?
How do students pay for food? Okay, so since I live on campus, this last year I had a 14 board meal plan. So I had 14 meals that I could use. I had the option of eating at the dining commons or around campus. I typically, what I did to avoid gaining a lot of weight, what I did was I instead of eating at the commons, I would cash out. When cashing out is an option they have on campus where you use your meal plan, which costs doesn't cost, but it's like take $6 off of whatever you would buy. So let's say I'd buy like for breakfast, what I would eat. So I would eat cereal, and then I'd get milk, orange juice, and some Pop-Tarts. That would be my breakfast, and that would just be under $6.
What types of financial aid do university students get?
I receive a Pell Grant. The Pell Grant is a grant that's given to you by the government, depending on your socioeconomic status. There's that, and then there's the Stafford loans. There's the subsidized loan and the unsubsidized loan. The difference between the two is that the subsidized loan, the government pays the interest while you're in school, and the other one, the government pays the interest while you're in school. I also receive some of the EOP program. The EOP is what is it? What's the acronym? Educational Opportunity Program. I receive a grant from them also, and I also receive university grants.
What are the library hours?
What are the library hours? From 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. During the finals, they extend the hours from like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay, it's almost time for the bell, and I want to make sure that we get out of here on time. Please remember 8th graders to log out. An announcement that I did not make earlier is that the Avid Club meeting is rescheduled from today until tomorrow. So if you're one of the senators or if you're on one of the committees, you need to make it a point to write down that you have your Avid Club meeting tomorrow in Bernasconi's room. Please remember, if you need help downloading the document, you need to see me at lunch. As well, if your name's on the board, you need to see me at lunch. Bernasconi, do you have anything?
Just that senators, be ready to submit your report first thing at the club meeting about the classes.
I need you to sit down.
Thank
You have not been dismissed.
Thank you. Senators, be prepared to give your report on what the feedback from your respective classes were on the Mix It Up Day ideas.
And let's thank Gavino for coming today.